So recently, Jamal Hill has gone back and forth with Michael Bisping and Alex Pereira. We're gonna talk about those, and I'm gonna say it right now. Pereira probably just won Fighter of the Year off of one Instagram comment. We're gonna get into that, but before we do, if you like the content, subscribe. That's all I ask. That's the only payment I accept on this channel. Anyways, um, I'm not gonna show you my dashboard here. Here we go. Let's close that. And make sure this is running. Alright, so this is the first story. Michael Bisping hits out at usually offended ex-UFC champ for crying insults. Michael Bisping gets into a style with Jamal Hill. First Alex Pereira, then Magomed Ankalaev and Yuri Prochazka. Now Michael Bisping is in the crosshairs of former light heavyweight champion Jamal Hill. Hill took to umbrage with some of Bisping's comments when the former middleweight champion called him a sore loser in the context of being a true competitor. Sweet Dreams slammed the count in a tweet on November 29th, bashing Bisping for crying about his past losses. Calling me a sore loser and talking about as men on losing is the craziest shit ever to me. Craziest shit to me ever. Bro, you've been crying and salty about Dan Henderson for 20 years, and Vitor Belfort the Vitor Belfort one is justified. He went blind from that fight for 15 years. You think spending half of your career losing you would know how to. Bisping then replied, "Did you watch what I said, or did you read some shitty headline? If it's a headline, I'll accept your apology, smiley face. I said you are a bit of a sore loser because you're a true competitor," and then went on to explain if that energy, just had to open up the full tweet. Do 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 do. I said you. Alright, I'm gonna start from here. I said you were a bit of a sore loser because you're a true competitor, and then went on to explain if that energy is channeled correctly, it can be truly beneficial to a fighter's mindset. I was being nice, not talking shit, didn't have you down as the easily offended type. All the best with your camp. Alright, so now that we read through that, we're going to talk about this, then we're going to move on to the Pereira story. So, Jamal Hill obviously was announced that he will be facing Yuri Prochazka at 311. Should be a really fun fight. We all know that this is a fight that should have happened years ago, but Yuri got injured, relinquished the belt. Jamal got injured, relinquished the belt. And then Alex fought Yuri last year at Madison Square Garden, won the title, and the rest is history. Alex Pereira went on to defend the title 3 times faster than anybody in UFC history. But with what he's saying against Michael Bisping, one, he was taken out of context and he was reading a headline without going directly to what Michael Bisping posted. I do agree with Michael Bisping that if channeled correctly, that delusion can be beneficial to a fighter. You need to be delusional in fighting or in order to achieve any kind of success in life. You need to keep that delusion in check though. And as much as we clown on Jamal Hill for it, he does kind of have a point that he got knocked out from the breakup from the nut shot right after. But like every referee says, when the fight starts, you have to protect yourself at all times. So, thing is though, that I'm really starting to like Jamal Hill. I really am. I wasn't a big fan of him before, but like he is slowly growing on me. But as far as this Michael Bisping thing goes, like I said, I do agree with Bisping, and I honestly think this is smart uh, publicity by Jamal Hill. Again, Donald Trump said Donald Trump said it best. All publicity is good publicity. Now we are going to move on to the Pereira story, and then we're gonna jump back to this, talk about both of them at the same time, and Jamal Hill's strategy, and potentially where he can go after the Yuri fight. So, okay. Alex Pereira uses racial slur in response to Jamal Hill. Alex Pereira and Jamal Hill's rivalry continues to escalate on social media. However, the Brazilian may face some backlash after he shared a racial slur online. Poatan has been a phenom since signing with the UFC, and is already in an exclusive with fighters who've held titles in two divisions to capture his 205-pound belt. The kickboxer knocked out his year-long rival Hill inside of the first round, though his celebration afterwards didn't go well with his opponent. 2 months after his defeat, Jamal Hill decided to take to the social media. That is not proper grammar. That is not proper grammar. To share his thoughts about being respectful to fighters inside the cage. I recently spoke on this. I went to Brazil and dog walked the guy in one of the most one-sided. There are so many typos in this article. Which one? MMA Weekly. I was looking at the MMA Junk Feed one earlier. Well, we're already reading it. I recently spoke on this, but I went to Brazil, dog walked a guy, in one of the most one-aided ass whoopings, I'm just gonna say the word, in championship history, and after showed nothing but respect and paid homage. I never celebrated over an opponent I beat, and even called out fans for disrespecting Johnny Walker after I swept him. Hill then called out Pereira for his viral celebration, insisting the two will cross paths again in the future. Alex Pereira, you really set up a punch you couldn't get without a weird contributing moment and did some weak shit. But it's okay, because you'll fight me again. And this time my eyes won't leave you until you're stiff as he left you in Miami. Jamal Hill's rant caught the attention of Alex Pereira. The American showed a short response telling Hill, you showed trauma. Despite making a harmless response to Hill, shared a post on his Instagram that had one major change. Instead of his signature trauma, his comment was now followed by a racial slur. This is the tweet in question. I'll even pull it up here so you can see it clearly. But like I said in my short, I died laughing when I saw this morning. I could not contain myself for a good 5 minutes. Um, yeah, but you see right there, you show my friend. That's what we're gonna say. No racism up in here. Maybe. I'm just kidding. But yeah. Now, looking at these two, um, I guess call outs you can say, or two beasts, whatever you want to call it. This is genius on Jamal Hill's end, right? Hold up. I just realized, uh, that's better. Oh my god, I'm blind. Okay, that's not gonna work. There we go. But yeah, with these two beefs, that Jamal Hill has started, one, like, all publicity is good publicity. Two, he does kind of have a point with that weird nutshot break where he kicked Pereira in the junk and Pereira waved, or not even waved, he pushed her demon out of the way and then knocked him all out instantly. But I would be interested in a rematch. Obviously, he's fighting Yuri Prohaska. We've seen the Yuri fight twice, and Alex Pereira made an even more decisive win in the second fight. Now, I would much rather see Khalil Roundtree versus Jamal Hill. That's a fight that I want. After seeing what Jamal Hill was able to do against Alex Pereira, winning the first two rounds, and like the only like similar to Rory McDonald versus Robbie Lawler, his body gave out. It wasn't him quitting. It was his body could not have enough any more punishment. Now, let's say he beats Yuri. We book Alex Pereira versus um, Jamal Hill too. Maybe you do it MSG. I kind of think MSG will be Pereira competing for the heavyweight title, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't cross out um, a rematch with Hill. But with somebody like Pereira, this is what not only is making it difficult for light heavyweights, but anybody in any weight class. Alex Pereira came in at, what was it, 34, around there, and in 2 years, well, 3 years, I guess, he won the middleweight title, lost it to Izzy, moved up to light heavyweight, beat Jan, beat Yuri for the title the first time, defended it against uh, Jamal Hill, fought Yuri at International Fight Weekend because the Conor fight got cancelled, and then most recently in October he saved another card and knocked out Khalil Roundtree. He did say that he wants his rest, but I mean, the thing with Pereira is that he's used to the kickboxing lifestyle. Typically, a kickboxer does multiple fights in 1 month. Um, so Alex Pereira has years of training, conditioning. Um, he knows the game better than most. Obviously, we know that he walks around heavier than John Jones, which makes the John Jones fight interesting. Um, like, it was amazing that he ever made 185, like, and he won the title there. But, like I said, I think this is brilliant on Jamal Hill's end. I think this puts him it definitely will put him in big fights regardless, because either you're gonna be a fan of Jamal Hill or you're gonna want to see him get finished again. Um, the only people that are have finished Jamal Hill have been Paul Craig, who, Paul Craig he's a good fighter. He has wins over Magomed Ankalaev with that last second submission, and yeah, like Johnny Walker. Remember when they said that he was gonna beat John Jones? Yeah, that was funny. Um, but yeah, that's really all I got. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about Jamal Hill's recent uh, social media rampage, we'll call it. What do you think about Michael Bisping's comments on Jamal Hill and him using that delusion to help him train? And yeah, other than that, thanks for watching. Later.